Cody Ruiz. What do you think of Paul Heyman's comments? Also, what is your opinion on Chris Benoit as a wrestler? Now, he sent a video from Inside the Ropes with Paul Heyman cussing out an audience member. And it's another video that I'm not going to show, although I probably could get permission for this one. I could ask. But I'm not going to show it just in case, because I've not asked yet. So, that being said, Paul Heyman basically takes umbrage with a fan who keeps saying, Chris Benoit, he's my boy. And Paul Heyman says...
I've seen this before.
Okay, then run me through it and run me through your opinions of what Heyman said and if he's right.
Well, Heyman was doing this interview in front of a crowd. I don't know when it was. I think it was at like a WrestleMania
no,
get together.
Scotland.
Is that what it was?
It was,
okay.
Yeah.
He was talking, some kid kept saying, what about my boy Benoit? What about my boy Chris Benoit? Kept on. And it pissed off Paul. And Paul says, and he kind of was getting rough on the guy. He said, let me tell you one thing about Chris Benoit. He says, and I forgot what he said. He said, 3 people died that day, and 2 of them didn't have a choice. And the third one, killed himself after he killed the other 2. So he said, in my book, he's a piece of shit, and he's a piece of crap. I don't want to talk about him. And one guy was trying to put over Chris Benoit's the wrestling abilities. And he turned around and he says, if you want to just judge him on that, you can. I'm not. But he says, if in my book, he says, as performance, as a performer, he was the top 5. And in the other thing that he did, he was the lowest piece of crap on this earth. And he let it go. So do I agree with him? I agree with him on the lowest piece of crap. I do. I do agree with him on that. As far as him being in the top 5 in the world in professional wrestling, I guess, maybe. He did a lot of good stuff. I don't think you could really make him your top guy because he couldn't talk. And he couldn't, I don't know if he could convey emotion. I don't know that. But as far as performing, I mean, he had a hell of a good arsenal of moves. And I don't know who trained him, but he did well.
Stampede, Calgary. He was a Dynamite Kid, basically, self-admittedly a copy of Dynamite Kid in the early days.
Well, but when you look at him in the ring, he's 5'5", 5'6".
No, I think legitimately he's probably around the 5'8", 9" mark, around that.
Well, but still, at 5'8", against a 6'2" guy, 6'3", that's almost average for WWE. Then he's not a very big guy. And now, if he was in the ring with another guy who could do the same type of stuff, they'd have a banger, as they call it now, a banger. Mm-hmm. They'd have a hell of a match. But the thing about having bangers is the first night you see them, boom, 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 wow, what a match. They bring them back the next week. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, well, they had another one. By the time they bring the third one around, well, you've already seen everything these guys can do, basically. Everything. That's why you have to have a story. And when you have the story, now they can cut that bangy stuff out and tell the story, but keep their banging stuff in there. They just tone them down. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You just can't keep having the same match over and over and over again, just performing. They want a story, and where is this leading me? Mm-hmm. See, that's where the winner and the loser actually has significance, which today, sometimes they can do stuff. It doesn't matter who wins. Sometimes, and that's why I used to like Broadway matches. And a Broadway match is a time limit draw. You never see them ever anymore. Because, when you get close to say you got a 15-minute time limit, 13 minutes, 2 minutes remaining, Now you alert the fans, hey, if one's going to win, you're going to got to do it in 2 minutes. You got the clock on you, 14 minutes. Oh, it's counting down. Oh, God. And one guy looks like he's going to win. I've seen guys time it so close. Referee would go 1, 2, ding, 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 before they come down on the 3. So, but
did you ever meet Benoit? Because I know he had like a couple of tryouts in WWF.
I met him. I met him in not Calgary. I met him in Edmonton, I think. Somewhere way up north. If I'd have went up, I swear to God, I was so far up in Canada. If I'd have went another 100 miles, I'd be up the damn Arctic. I'd be at the North Pole. Cold, and he was standing in the back. We had a show, WCW show there. And he came to it, and I'm standing out, and he come over and introduced himself. And I'd heard about him, and I'm not tall, but I was taller than he was. I was probably then 5'11", maybe. Hell, I'm like 5'2" now. I'm all beat up and jammed up and squashed and everything else. But he was kind of looking up at me, and that's when I said he's not really a big guy. So, but I agree with Paul. He probably a great, tremendous technical worker, but as far as drawing you money, I don't think. And he may have drawn a little money in ECW because, that little bingo hall they could only hold like 1,200 people, I guess. And once you sell it out, you sell it out. I mean, you can't get any more people in there. And
they sold out whether he was there or not. I think they sold it out no matter what the card was, pretty much.
Well, I don't know. I've only been in that building once, and they said it used to be a hellhole. They've cleaned it up now. It's not too bad now. But I was on the convention there, and they cleaned it up. But do I agree with Paul? 100% on the first one about him being a low piece of humanity. I agree with him there. And being the 5 top, yeah, that's subjective. So that's debatable.